So let's talk about the Epstein files. Now, most of the time, so many individuals are really carried away by what, the whole Epstein file conversation has been about. Well, I tend to see it from a different perspective. One thing that you will realize with regards to the whole story of the Epstein situation is that you will realize that there's a lot of talk about pedophilia, blood sacrifice, and things of that nature. And why am I highlighting this? We live in a world where many are so ignorant of what goes on in the spiritual realm. As a believer, as a Christian, having read the Bible, one place that jumps out to anybody is the book of Genesis, chapter 3, and we see the fall of man in that area. But what many miss out on is that God had to cover them with a skin, and that skin must have been the skin of an animal, which means there was a blood sacrifice or a blood that was offered for them to be rescued. The same thing that happens also when we look at also what is happening within the occult. Most occults require blood. Most herbalists or traditionalists require blood. Most individuals are involved in wickedness and witchcraft require blood. So, what does that tell you? It tells you that the currency in the spirit realm is not money, it's nothing else but blood. Which means if you want to pay for something in the spirit realm, it is blood. And when Jesus came, for so many who don't understand why Jesus died on the cross of Calvary, there was nothing that was going to pay for our sins except the righteous blood of an individual. And that righteous blood of an individual has to be the blood of someone who has not yet sinned. And that is what Jesus came for. He didn't come from the lineage of Adam, even though he was born by the child of Adam. And so Jesus paid with his blood when he was about to leave the earth by being sacrificed and offered as a sacrifice, as a sacrificial lamb, so that we can be rescued. If you understand the concept of blood, you would realize that even till today, many are still sacrificing rams, bulls, and animals. Why? The currency is blood. And that currency will never stop, especially when you sacrifice an animal. Sometimes they move it to sacrificing humans. In old times in Africa, they bury humans alive because the land requires blood. So when you realize the whole concept of blood, you will realize why Jesus came to abolish all of that by offering himself once and for all on the cross of Calvary and paying for all that we all need to be paid for. And he paid by his precious blood. Jesus is calling you because no amount of sacrifice on earth can help you. I pray you understand this.